Team RWBY get a better understanding of where they are, Yang gets her arm back, and RWBY gets seriously depressed. All that and more on on today's episode of BrobusCast RWBY Edition. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of BrobusCast. I am your very tired host, Brobuscus. With me today is Aidan.
All's fair, after all.
And we also have Mate.
We have ourselves a new pun queen. All hail.
Okay, so yeah, we're here to discuss Volume 9, Chapter 2, Altercation at the Auspicious Auction. That's certainly a title.
Which we now have on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to fix the audio subtitle thing.
Yeah, seriously.
There's nothing actually wrong with the audio, it's just for some reason it's listed as subbed. And
yeah,
in the audio settings, it just comes up as Japanese for some reason.
And the subtitles still don't work. So that's fun. So yeah. Anything you guys want to say before we jump right into this very emotional episode?
I can't think of anything except for those interested. Last episode is apparently titled "Place of Particular Concern." So there you go.
Yes.
More alliteration.
Yay, I guess.
I'll just say something that happened in a fanfic I wrote happened in this episode.
He predicted the future.
He's
Not
psychic.
1-to-1, but close enough.
He's psychic. I don't know if you knew this, but he is in fact psychic. Okay, let's get started. So we open up and yep, it's the Ever After, all right. And they're just standing there, just taking in the scene, just like, this is the thing. This is what's going on right now. And then Yang is just like, so we're just gonna stand here. We're just gonna stand around and talk, or are we gonna actually like figure things out here?
Well, now that the opening shot is done, we can progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're not gonna stand around and talk. That's the other show.
Yeah, true. It's like, well, opening shot's done. We can talk now. Yeah.
Yeah, RWBY questions whether or not they are actually in a fairy tale, and I love that it just shows all their faces while Blake's just pointing at Little.
It's like, RWBY, did you forget you have a tiny talking mouse on your shoulder?
Weiss's and Yang's expressions here are just, bruh.
You'll notice this is going to be a theme with this episode, is that there's a lot more anime-style animation that makes this more comedic, which I do appreciate.
Same.
It is a little weird though, because it's a weird juxtaposition with like the actual tone of the episode, which will also be a theme for this, but you'll see as we go along. Okay, so Weiss is like, alright, look, things are improbable, you know, there's a talking mouse on Ruby's shoulder, but a fairy tale? Really? It's like, And I'm just sitting here like, Weiss, come on, come on, girl. It's like there's a tiny mouse on Ruby's shoulder. Weiss herself even recaps it. It's like Ruby made friends with a talking mouse. She and Blake got wrapped up in vines, and Yang got her arm stolen by a talking raccoon.
I just want to point out, when Weiss mentions Ruby made friends with a talking mouse, I love Little just going, friend!
Best new character.
For sure.
I stand by this. Can we take Little back to Remnant, please?
I hope we do.
And while you're at it, take out a life insurance policy on them, because mice don't live all that long.
No, they don't.
So, might as well make a profit out of it. That was exceptionally morbid for me.
It was. Anyways, so after Weiss recaps, she's like, "Oh, I
also just love the Yang delivery of my arm was stolen by a purple raccoon riding an army
like a
of
bucket
trash."
filled with trash."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this place is weird. I like Weiss like walking, like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go over here now. She's just like Deku mumbling to herself.
Yeah, she's just like, of course he was riding a wagon full of trash. Maybe he had a little steering wheel. It's just like mumbling to herself. Like, you have to listen really closely to hear what Kara's saying throughout all this. Crunchyroll, add subtitles.
I know. I was about to say, like, I mean, I wouldn't have to pay attention so differently if Crunchyroll would add freaking subtitles.
I will be calling back to this later.
You need to learn how to read Dutch or Spanish or French or Italian.
Yeah, but see that. No.
Which are the only languages that work for subtitles.
It's like, I mean, I kind of would understand it if, like, they would just be like, okay, so you get no English subtitles, like, if that wasn't an option. It's like, okay, well,
but
that...
it is an option, it just doesn't...
I know it is an option, but I'm just saying it'd probably be better if it wasn't at this point, because it's like, if you're not gonna...
I agree, I'm just saying, like, the fact that it is an option and it doesn't work is what's more frustrating.
Yeah, it's like, if you're not gonna have the subtitles show up, if they're not gonna work, then just don't give me the option. Anyways, so Blake pieces everything together. It's like, oh, this is the story of the girl who fell through the world.
And she actually name drops the Ever After.
Yeah, because apparently the Ever After is just a thing in fairy tales in this universe. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to point out Weiss just... She's like, look, that was a fairy tale. It's not real. It's make-believe.
Yeah.
Weiss, you've been paying attention, right?
Yeah, it's like...
remember the Maidens, that was also a fairy tale.
The Girl in the Tower, which was Salem, and you saw that story?
Yeah.
The Man with Two Souls, which... Ozpin.
Yeah. It's like, Weiss, I don't think you're paying attention here.
Look, maybe 3 fairy tales can be real, but it's surely a 4th can't be.
Yeah, really. But yeah, Blake says, like, yeah, we're in the Ever After. Weiss is like, that's just a fairy tale. And Little is like, no, because that's my home. And it's like, well, there we go then. I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I don't know why they don't just like, okay, well, we got actual freaking confirmation here.
Yeah.
And like the rest of the episode is like, nah, this is we're not in a book, we're not in a fairy tale. And I'm like, guys, we have confirmation, like, it's from the mouse's mouth here. Like,
But then again, like, from what Blake says later on, it's kind of like the events of that have already happened in this world.
I guess.
Well,
it makes me wonder about the true nature of this world.
Yeah.
Because, like, if this is a fairy tale, it's like, I know, like, fairy tales in Remnant are, like, they do come from somewhere, and some of them are just straight up true. But it's like Aidan said, this one is like, it's kind of implied to already happen. So it's like, are we in the past? Are we in a fictional world? I don't know.
I heard a little theory based on the opening.
Oh yeah?
Alright, so at the end of the opening, we see Alex on the same beach that Ruby woke up on.
Yeah.
Go back and check. When she gets up, there's already footsteps leading from the shore to the forest where she goes.
Oh, really?
So the idea is those are Ruby's footprints, and perhaps, like, because time might work differently in the Ever After, so what if when Team Ruby arrive there, they arrive there the same time Alex does?
Oh.
Maybe. But then again, from what Blake said about the raccoon guy being
being older.
Being older, that's what made me think, are they like they're in this world like after the events of the fairy tale? But then again, no one has kind of commented on the fact that Team Ruby are like human girls like Alex was, even though they've met the same people that Alex supposedly had. So it's confusing. Yeah. Which I think is intentional at this point, but
I mean, probably. It is still only the second episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, they ultimately concludes like, okay, so she did this, she did this, she did this, she did this, and then finally she went to the tree and got out.
I also want to point out, because Blake knows like all of this, all the more reason that when Ruby snaps, because I feel like that's going to happen this volume.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the more reason I think Blake should take over as team leader for a little bit.
Yeah. You can also kind of tell that Ruby's kind of getting to that breaking point with Lindsay's delivery in this episode, which is a lot different than like
also,
all previous Ruby voices that she's done.
They've
done. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah. Also, I think someone pointed this out. Notice how like super attentive Blake seems to be, specifically around Ruby.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, so they're like, okay, so it ended at the tree. All right, to Yggdrasil. They don't call it that, but let's be real, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And Little's like, I could take you there, and guess what? She falls asleep again.
They're asleep again.
Good grief.
Yeah, okay. So, I don't think we're going to be getting another one of those soon, because of what we're going to be talking about in a little bit. But, yeah, I kind of hope this definitely is like the last time they do like a smash cut. I'll take you there.
Yeah, the first time was funny, the second time not as much.
I still get a laugh out of it.
Yeah, it's still funny, but it's
like... I just think that like 3 times would be a bit excessive.
Yeah.
If they were to do it again.
At least this time they make an effort to wake her up. Them up, sorry.
Yeah.
I realized my mistake the second I said it. Anyways, it's like, so it's this way, right? And Little's like, yeah. It's like they are not into this. Although to be fair,
I'm just a meese. I want a nap.
Yeah. Although to be fair, given what we know happens later in the episode, I can't say I blame them.
I also wonder when are these girls gonna take a nap?
I know, right? It's like
because yeah, from the end of Volume 7, all of Volume 8, and now they've been operating with no sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, do you think that all of Volume 9 is also going to be like 1 or 2 days?
In Ever After Time, probably.
Yeah, in Ever After Time.
In real time, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of expecting it to be like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just imagining it's like Team RWBY finally get back, and they're like, "What? Like, how long has it been? What's changed?" And they're like, nothing really."
Oh, you know, I think I just came up with a theory. It might sound ridiculous, but hear me out.
Okay.
It's the ever after. Everything's ridiculous.
Okay, no, I mean for when they get back to Remnant.
Oh, okay. Continue on then.
So what if they get back to Vacuo? They get to Vacuo before all the Atlas stuff goes down.
What, like time travel?
Borderline, yeah.
So then that begs the question, would there be 2 Team RWBYs in that case?
Yeah.
Oh lord.
But yeah, they would know that. Well, I mean, I'm sure they'd figure it out, like, pretty quick, and then realize, okay, so to not mess with the timeline, we shouldn't go to Atlas. Like, we know what's gonna happen. Let's just wait until everybody gets it, and we can prepare Vacuo in the meantime.
I wonder.
Maybe.
I wonder.
Just a thought, because everyone has that thought about, like, what if time is gonna advance? I'm just like, what if the opposite happens?
That'd be a neat twist.
Well, right
Also,
now,
I mean, we get to see more of Vacuo before, like, everything goes to hell.
Yeah, before we get to, like, near the end game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right now I'm kind of thinking like, from their perspective, the time in Remnant is like stopped. Like when they get back, like nothing really, like from everyone else's perspective, they've probably been gone for like a minute. But from their perspective, it's been like a few days or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe.
Any hoosers, so, Weiss is like, oh, by the way, how did you lose your arm anyway? It's like, yeah, so, oh wait, no, I'm skipping ahead, my bad. Shoot, this is what happens when I don't have freaking subtitles. So, Little points out, it's like, this raccoon drops by our village, every so often to, just say hi. Yang goes like, so they take stuff, do they stay to, bleh, words are hard. Do they take stuff from you too? It's like, do they steal stuff from you too? It's like, nope, they just take stuff that we're not looking at.
I'm gonna be calling back to that for a couple of reasons.
It's like, oh, so, no, they don't steal, but yeah, they do kind of steal. Okay, so now it's like, by the way, how did you lose your arm? I was like, I kind of woke up without it, basically. I
want to point out, when we see Yang knocked out, the stars around her head are the Team RWBY colors.
Oh, they are, that's fun.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I mean,
and then
different order, but
details. Okay, mate. I'm gonna pass this mic on over to you because
I was
Oh,
hoping you would.
I was gonna say one quick thing. You can see the raccoon's kind of doing like the Dio pose as he's on top of the cart going backwards.
Kinda.
Huh.
It's not as wacky, but yeah. It's not as borderline impossible. Anyways, alright. Anyways. So, time for Cat Girl to be Cat Girl.
Yeah, okay, so after hearing this, I love the laugh and like the little grin that Blake has when she approaches Yang. Just, that expression, it's so cute. And, like, with the giggle, and she asks, oh, so would you say he caught you unarmed?
I like Yang's little, like, nervous smile. It's like, why are you so close to me? Like, why are you so close to me, and why are you laughing at me?
Okay, so I've wanted Blake to make a pun for quite some time now, and if you follow some of the other stuff I do, like in one of the what ifs, I have her do it. In my fanfic, I have her do it. So actually getting that in this episode made me so freaking happy.
And she doesn't just make one pun; she makes two.
Actually,
She makes 3.
Three.
okay, so not only does she add how disarming, like, because there's no subtitles, thank you Crunchyroll, you have to listen very carefully, and someone pointed this out on Twitter, she goes on to say, I guess we'll have to catch them yellow-handed.
Oofus.
Oh, I missed that one.
And hang on, let me just get the thing up. What is it? One second. Okay, yeah. How fitting for a cash grabber.
Oh lord.
Okay, so throughout all of the volumes, guess how many puns Yang has made?
It'd be 2.
Correct. Blake in this one scene has doubled that.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of funny to me that that people treat Yang like they characterize Yang as this like punster, but like she's made 2 puns throughout the entirety of 9 volumes. So like, yay! Congratulations, I guess.
When
yeah,
I
Blake has
met
lots
you,
of
I
shit
was
in
but
this.
a learner. Now I am the pun master.
More like Blake pun a daughter.
Oh boy.
And okay, I also have to comment on just like the giggling, Blake's posture, how she just has her hands behind her back like she's a flirty schoolgirl or something. Like the playful like shoves, how nervous Yang looks, and the way like they clearly want to hold one another's hand, but then they like shy away.
Yeah.
It's like these two are so freaking cute. Like, I mentioned this in the last episode, didn't I? How it's basically, we ask RWBY for bee crumbs, and they just give us an entire loaf.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like that's gonna be episode by episode, and I'm all for it.
And once again, Weiss is just like, finally.
Yeah. Hey, look, we called that too.
I love that. She just looks at them and goes, about time. If you watch mine and Max's discussions, you know we have this whole thing where it's just like Weiss and RWBY have just been like in the background, just being like, okay, this is pretty much inevitable, right? Like, they are gonna get together, aren't they?
I like the idea of them taking bets.
Yeah.
But
When
unfortunately that's
when
not the
they
case,
kiss-
but
when they kiss, I want to hear Weiss just go, finally! Oh, and yeah, if they take bets, I actually hope that is a thing. And that begs the question. I want to ask you two, when it happens, because let's be real, like, that's more than most likely going to happen at some point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going to initiate, Blake or Yang?
Oh.
Depends on the circumstance, really.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Blake.
I want it to be Blake.
I think I'm also going to say Blake.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm extraordinarily biased, and like, yeah, Blake's my favorite. I want her to be the one to do it, but I don't know. Yang kind of strikes me as just like after everything that Blake has been through, she's not gonna like
Make the first move, yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
just gonna wait,
Plus-
and it'll happen when Blake is ready.
Plus Yang's kind of going through her own thing right now. She's got stuff to deal with. I mean, right now, especially because like, I sure am still missing my arm. But yeah, I mean, like, people ask that about Ren and Nora too, but like, Nora instigated it because Ren just wasn't gonna talk to her. So
Yeah.
like, it really depends on when, like when and why. But I don't know. Anything can happen.
I mean, I mean, there's a scene, like, at some point in this volume that people are theorizing. We just need to wait for clouds and a bridge.
Oh, yeah.
That's just
I mean,
the theory.
We got one of those this episode.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
That's true. Anyways, I want to comment, before we move on, I do want to comment on, just in general, like, the kind of, like, I want to harken back to Volume 1 for Blake. Like, just imagine it, just remembering, like, what she was like. It's like, what she was like then compared to how she is now. It's like, wow, I almost wouldn't have thought this was the same character.
Right?
Although, I mean, granted, to be fair, I could say the same about Yang, but still.
Although I will say, like, we have seen instances of Blake, like, you know, doing, like, silly-esque stuff, specifically when she's around Team RWBY.
Well, sure.
Like, when you first met her, did you think she would shout Bonsai with Yang and RWBY?
Well, no, obviously not. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, she's done sillier stuff in the past, but never to this degree.
Not this consistently, like in like back to back, I guess.
And I mean, I say this as if I say this as if it's a problem. It's actually not. Like
It shows character development.
Yeah, I'm super down for this more upbeat Blake. I mean, at this point, she doesn't really have much of a reason to be as brooding as she was. Like, I mean, before it was like I just abandoned one of like two people I considered a friend. I'm still being like my kind is still being is still facing unjust prejudice. And then like fast forwarding to like volume 4, it's like, well, I tried to open up, and look what happened. So now it's like, well, I mean, my nightmares are over, basically. It's like, and the guy who was basically the bulk of 90% of my problems is dead now, so it's like, I guess I'm just, I guess I don't need to be so emo anymore. And I am all for it. Unfortunately, though, on the topic of
Before we move on, I just want to say I've just been paused on like the smirk this whole time.
Unfortunately, on the topic of emo, though, poor RWBY. And this is also going to become a theme for this episode, and probably for the rest of this volume. RWBY's this poor girl has been through so much, and now it's kind of all like crashing down on her. And they take the time to be like, look, RWBY, I know how much Penny meant to you. So like, I'm sorry she couldn't make it. It's just, and man, I didn't comment on this last episode because it didn't really cross my mind. But then I watched, do you guys know that Kaito Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched his review on the first chapter, and one thing that he brought up that I thought was, like, it's been on my mind, but I never really, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's something I feel like I've thought about before, but it's really just kind of hitting me now. It's like, RWBY is kind of terrible at expressing her feelings. Especially her more negative feelings. It's like every time something bad happens to her or her friends, she's out for probably like 2 minutes, and then she's right back in the fight. Like when Penny died the first time, like she was frozen for a bit, but she immediately jumped back in to save Pyrrha. And then after that, never really had much of a chance to reminisce on what's going on. Same happened with Yang. Like, she saw Yang unconscious without an arm, and she was like, and immediately she was like, that left her mind pretty quick once she learned that Jean and Pyrrha still weren't there.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of been a consistent character trait for RWBY since, like, Volume 3.
Yeah.
Of just, like, using, like, okay, I'm gonna ignore how I'm feeling because there's bigger things to deal with at the moment.
Yeah. There's which, I mean, I get it. I understand Ruby's perspective, but at the same time, girl, that is super unhealthy.
Yeah.
And
but I think that's what this volume's, like, leading to, though. This is leading
oh,
to, like,
yeah, 100%.
It totally is.
But I'm just saying, like, right now, it's like, and you can hear it in Ruby's voice as well, it's like, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, Ruby, just let it out already. Like, you need that.
And then, like, in here again, she kind of gets silent until Weiss starts kind of venting her frustrations, and then it's like, oh, Weiss, you did the best you could.
Yeah.
Like she immediately just goes to, like, comforting her friend and making sure she's feeling alright rather than focusing on her own well-being.
Yeah. Although, on the topic of Weiss,
I also want to point out, Weiss, yeah, that pause when Ruby starts walking away. Man, I am not looking forward to when that little bit of information comes out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I understand completely why Weiss is, like, leaving out the fact that Jean had to mercy kill Penny, but at the same time,
not telling Ruby is probably gonna come and bite her.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah. I don't know, because, like, I feel like at this point we've learned that, keeping secrets like that is not a good idea. It kind of crashed and burned for them, against Ironwood, so, I mean,
the only thing
I
I'm maybe thinking is that Weiss is waiting until maybe something good happens before telling Ruby to maybe try and, like, balance out.
Well, that's just gonna ruin the good thing, isn't it?
I know, but, like, I'm just saying, she already reacted really badly to Penny dying, and then adding on, oh yeah, by the way, John mercy killed her.
Yeah.
Like, might have made, like, I don't think it was the correct decision, but I can understand it. Plus, from, like, Weiss's perspective, she thinks that John's, like, back in the real world, so she's got more time to let Ruby process things before she tells her further, but I do think that just telling Ruby everything from the start would have been the better decision overall, but I understand why she has a point of view.
I honestly
feel like Weiss isn't even gonna get the chance to tell her. It's
No.
just
Yeah.
gonna come up when they find Jean.
Yeah,
No, especially if Jean is that night in the opening. Like I feel like Jean's gonna, like, nonchalantly break the ice on that. It's like he's gonna be
how
like,
can you look at me the same, Ruby, when I killed Penny?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't know, maybe, like, he learns what Weiss told her, and it's like, oh, is that what you were told? Oh no, what actually happened was I freaking killed her. And yeah, I think that's how Ruby's gonna find out, and that's not good for Weiss at all.
It's also not good for Ruby as well.
Well, no, it's not.
Ruby's
Well, obviously
gonna
not.
Ruby's gonna snap at Jean, then she's gonna turn to Weiss.
Yeah.
And, oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not at all be surprised. In fact, I'd actually be a little bit more surprised if it didn't happen. If, after Ruby finds out, she, like, snaps at Weiss. Like, why didn't you tell me that? I don't know. Especially after all that she's been through, it's like, another push is probably gonna break her apart.
I think that's probably what's gonna be what like pushes her over the edge.
Yeah, probably. Although one thing on the topic of Weiss's little rant here, I don't know why this didn't come to my mind, but like, yeah, no, Weiss's home is destroyed. Like she has nothing, she has nowhere to go now.
Max and I have said it for over a year. Weiss is homeless.
Yeah.
In fact, she has been for a while.
Yeah, but I mean, like with Jacques like arrested, there was a chance for her to like get her place back, you know, especially since the rest of her family seems supportive of her. But now, like, not even that's gone. It's like any chance Weiss had of returning to her proper home is literally flooded.
Yeah, like destroyed.
Yeah. And that thought, honestly, never occurred to me until she brought it up, and I was like, oh man, she's right. Yeesh. Yeah. I mean, we kind of... I've been paused on that scene for a little bit, but we kind of just breezed through it all.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about from various scenes.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like, it's...
Some cute, some hilarious, others depressing, and... Ow, my heart.
Yeah.
I think we also kind of glossed over the scene where they're talking about the fairy tale, and it's like, oh, Alex wasn't a good person.
Oh,
because
I mean,
she, like,
yeah.
lied and cheated to get her way back home.
Yeah.
Which I think that's gonna be that becomes relevant like very soon.
Yeah, it's like, I smell foreshadowing. Yeah, I'm glad that Blake and somewhat, I guess to an extent, Yang are still in somewhat high spirits, because, man, I'm not feeling anything from Ruby and Weiss right now.
I mean, can't blame them. But
Oh no, absolutely,
I'm glad that those two
absolutely not. But
I'm glad that those two are able to keep positive though.
Yeah,
Or at least be more positive than the other two.
yeah.
Please tell me you meant to put emphasis on B.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Anyway, so bridge. And across the bridge is a place that Tiny Mouse has never been to before. That would have been nice to know.
Tiny Mouse hasn't been this far either.
And Tiny Mouse also doesn't know how to get back home from this point.
Why did we think bringing Tiny Mouse along was a good idea again? We kind of just took her. We kind of just took them away from their home. Like, whoops.
I just love the different reactions from all the different girls, though. Like Ruby, like, oh, what have I done? Yang's annoyed. Blake's like, oh, you poor thing. And then Weiss is just like, oh, this bitch.
I'm maybe biased, but I think my favorite is Blake. Just look at her eyes.
I know.
Like,
Weiss just being like, are you serious?
Blake got cat eyes because she is cat. That would have been funny. Like, I know they're like supposed to be like sad eyes, but it would have been funny if they just like instead put him like clip art of like cat eyes. It's like set the sad cat eyes. It's like
The Puss in Boots, like... cat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. That would have been funny, but they didn't. Oh well. Anyway, so Tiny Mouse is building a house out of sticks and rocks and leaves, and as to be expected, it falls over like a house of cards.
That being said, appropriate given where we're going.
I mean, true.
I love Little's little jingle. Gonna build a house, gonna find my purpose in life. Like, that can-do attitude is something that we need.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
just love it how Weiss gives the offer, like, oh, do you want to come with me? Little just looks back to the house that they built as it falls down. It's like, yeah, sure.
It's It's like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing, so yeah. Anyways, so red forest, green sky. Okay, sure.
Oh my god, we're on Namek.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's just kind of weird because like the beach had a yellow sky and now we have a green sky. Okay, cool. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, I guess to be fair, I mean, we did see in the like the wide shot that like the sky is
like rainbow.
Yeah, the sky is basically rainbow. So sure, why not?
And it's not the weirdest thing to happen here.
No, definitely not. Heck, it's not even the weirdest thing to happen in this episode. We haven't even gotten there yet. Anyways,
okay, now we're in town, there's a particular voice actor I'm excited to get to.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. But I find it so weird when you see the marketplace. It's like you see all the citizens are like toys.
Yeah.
Either like
board game pieces.
Yeah, board game pieces. Like toy-like board game pieces. But yet they sell food.
Huh.
And flowers.
Yeah, I mean flowers make more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Because like you can like decorate with them or like grow them, I guess. But like, board game pieces need to eat, I guess.
I guess it's like I don't know how. It's like they don't. I don't think board game pieces have internal organs, but okay. Again, though, it's still not the weirdest thing to happen in this episode.
This is the closest thing we're ever gonna get to Toy Story repping RWBY, isn't it?
Probably.
Probably.
Anyways, so then we get a little exchange, and the only reason I would have remembered this is because I watched this episode right before we started recording. And I probably would have remembered it sooner if I had freaking subtitles. I'm making way too big a deal out of this.
Just being all just act like you belong.
Yeah, and then Little goes, I want to belong, but unfortunately I am Little because that is my name.
That was a great one. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but if you go back a little bit, you see there's a cake shop named Patty Cake.
Are you serious? Oh, there is.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
I know, but it's great.
I'm just looking at these like board game people just like walking around, except they're not walking, they're bouncing, and they also are two-dimensional. Okay. I don't know why I'm still trying to make sense of this place. Anyways, found the shack. But still no arm. But Yang's like, okay, so you guys hold him down while I pummel him.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Flex.
Except no, because there are some degree of military presence. Okay, sure.
They're great.
They are great. I'll say that. Yeah, basically they just don't want to start a war. But Yang's like, I just kind of want to hit him. You know,
Understandably,
it's like he did.
I think we could win a war.
Yeah, it's like he did kind of take my arm.
Also, I love the fact that it was a raccoon that specifically took someone's robot arm.
Oh lord.
Yeah.
Wait, bro, did you only just get that?
No, I didn't
man.
get that. I'm just saying. I
Look, man.
like it. I
I'm
like it.
asking Brobuscus.
Look, man.
Oh, sorry.
Look, man. This place is weird. It's like I'm not focused. Like this place is more fairy tale focused. I'm not focused on like pop culture references right now.
I can't wait for Yang to say we're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh
I
boy.
mean, we've already kind of had War Machine in this show. Remember Rhodes?
True.
True.
Anyways, so there's a
What's
raccoon.
Iron Man suit when?
Anyway, so yeah, raccoon. His name is Jinxie because sure, why not?
Jinxie.
That's what I said.
You cut out. I thought you just said Jinx.
Oh. Anyways, so he has 3 items. He has a scepter. He has a weird statue thing. I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to be. And then a little puppet.
Also, I kind of like how Weiss was like, "Oh, he's adorable," when Jinxie first came out, and then Yang gave the most judgmental stare I've ever seen.
Thing is, like, when Wei said that, her eyes were like pointing towards Yang, so it's just like she's trying to annoy her.
Yeah, but also like.
Oh yeah, there's a smug look she gives Yang afterwards.
It's like, you sure you want to beat this guy up? And yeah. Yang and I'm sure, it's like Yang and I'm sure a lot of other people are like, yes. Still want to beat him up. He still stole my arm. It's like, I don't know why this isn't more of a big deal, but okay. Anyway, so yeah. So we have a scepter. It looks kind of similar to Yang's arm. That's just a coincidence, right?
Totally.
We have. I honestly, this honestly looks like a bunny rabbit to me, but okay.
It is.
Well, it turns into a mouse later. And then we have a little statue that's oddly green. Weird that. So
while they're trying to work out like what could be Yang's arm, Blake's advice is, what does your heart tell you?
And I kid you not, when I was watching this the first time, you could probably see it in my when I do the reaction highlights, but it's like I noticed like, oh, that scepter looks like Yang's arm. That's probably Yang's arm, and I like how like
it almost looks like it was a set up from like a pantomime or like one of those old kids shows. Like, can you spot the correct?
Yeah, yeah. It's like Weiss is like, which one should we pick? And I'm like, maybe the one that looks like Yang. Maybe the one that looks like Yang's arm. Then Blake's like, what does your heart tell you? I'm like, Blake, really? It's like, what about the one that looks like? What about the one that actually looks like her arm? And then Yang finally was like,
oh, to be fair, like Blake is. I feel like Blake is kind of like that one person that's like is watching like the anime adaptation of like one of their favorite stories. And like, it needs to go this. The things should go this way, which is a very useful thing to have in this situation.
True.
Having the insider knowledge.
I could totally see that.
True. But at the same time, it's just like
she's just saying to the animators, "No, this is what happened in the manga. You gotta do it this way."
It's not canon accurate.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here like, guys, really? It's like, are you serious? Anyways, RWBY is mesmerized by this little puppet. Weird that.
Yeah, and
wonder why.
And like I said earlier, notice how Blake is the one who notices.
Yeah. It's just a little weird that. Anyways, Bunny Rabbit. I find it funny how of all 3 of these items here, even though there is a character that is associated with a bunny rabbit in some way, he's not here right now, but he does exist and he is in the Ever After. This one has no meaning to anyone that we know whatsoever.
You know, when you were building that up, I thought you were going to talk about Velvet.
Nope. It's actually
like at that moment, John just comes in with like the new armor, the giant like bunny mount, and is like, "I'll be taking that, thank you very much."
Yeah. It's like I tried to think.
And then he just bitch slaps Jinxie.
Yeah. It's like
that's your payment.
It's like leaves. It's like when I saw this, I was like, okay, so the scepter that looks like Yang's arm, the puppet that's not at all related to anything ever. What are you talking about? So I was like, what does this bunny have to do? It's like what does this bunny have to do with anything? And then it clicked with me, and then it just didn't matter, I guess.
Just to show the currency they use here, which includes hugs.
I guess.
Which, according to Little, is very valuable.
Apparently. I don't know how she knows that because she says that, they said that, they haven't been this far out.
I was questioning if I should say it.
But, okay. It's hard to remember.
Yeah, sorry.
They have a female voice actor, so it's just I just kind of assume. Anywho's.
Honestly, like, I like to imagine, like, oh, you go to the market to get food, and it's like, okay, there'll be 5 hugs.
I think we can all learn something from this society. Well, you know what? If the currency is hugs, I made this joke in a video of mine. Good thing these guys didn't get the 2020 we got.
Oof.
Ooh, yeah, that would have been bad.
Anyway, so yeah. Now the scepter is on display. And Yang and a toy soldier are up for it. And
I have a lot to say about the price for this.
well, why don't you go ahead, because it's a little harder for me to remember because, well, you know.
Yeah, okay. So, the price for this scepter is knowing what it means to feel loved. And, okay. So, some people did misinterpret this, thinking that, oh, Yang doesn't know what it means. No, she does know, she just doesn't want to give that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of clear in how they presented it personally, but I can see how that would have been, like, taken another way, but so I think it's good that that was clarified.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, why did it have to be that for the arm? Because how did Yang get that arm in the first place?
Yeah.
Through an act of love, protecting Blake, and the only reason Blake was in danger was because Adam saw that love that she had for Yang.
Mm-hmm. It also brings up a question, like just can Jinxie just like take away your ability to feel love? Which is like which is very messed up if that's something that they can do.
Yeah.
I mean, we found out, like, just a little earlier, like, what was the price that Alex had to pay, and that was her saddest memory and her happiest.
Yeah,
to
so
get her dagger back.
they're not a good person, Jinxie.
No.
Nah.
That was such a big difference from. I mean, when we find out what they actually are, I suppose it makes sense. But like, such a big leap from a hug to the ability to feel love.
Yeah. Anyway, so nervous Nick over here wins the bet.
Yay, Nick! I'm so happy! This is the voice actor I was talking about that I wanted to get to. I love Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick's
I've met him a
great.
couple times at RTX. He is such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
In fact, Max, if you trade, can attest to that.
I'm sure he can.
Nick is a lovely fella.
Yeah. So basically he's like, ha, I got it. You didn't. You suck.
And Yang's just like, that's my arm.
It's like, yeah, I know. Don't care.
Well, you snooze, you lose.
Yeah,
It's royal
basically.
property now.
This will be a great birthday present.
Boy. And instead of a fight breaking out, which had Blake on the edge of, which had Blake on her toes.
Okay, so I wanna point this out as well. Notice how Yang's eyes turn red?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Isn't that a thing with her semblance?
Oh yeah.
And I wanna bring this up as well because there was that no aura theory.
Yeah, I don't think that's. Well, okay.
Not only does this prove that's not the case, the trailer confirmed that
Yeah.
wasn't the case. Because there's a shot of
we
Neo.
thought about.
there's a shot of Neo turning into Ruby with her semblance.
Yeah,
we kind of
I remembered
over that last time, didn't we?
Yeah,
I just completely forgot about that. Then I remembered thinking, wait, no, that can't be the case. I've seen that like, oh, what was it in again? And I just went searching for it, eventually found it.
Yeah, I remembered. So I saw like a few theories that said basically the same thing. They didn't use the Justice League comics though. I forget what it was. It doesn't matter. But it's like no, because we see Neo turn into Ruby in one of the trailers, and I remembered that, and I was like, oh, so we're very stupid then. Whoops.
At least they provided some stuff as just like, okay, I could see this supporting it.
Yeah. Like, there was reason for us to think that way before.
Yeah.
But we were wrong. We'll hold up our hands.
I mean, unless we're just gonna say, oh, Neo is just perfect and can do whatever she wants, blah 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 blah. Like, no.
Neo truly is
now we're
different, I guess.
grasping. Anyway, so before a fight breaks out, the statue is called for auction, and Ruby immediately jumps to the case. Much to everyone's confusion. I mean, I don't know why she's so upbeat about the. I don't know why she's so anxious about the statue. It clearly doesn't have any meaning to it whatsoever.
Then we get a very depressing visual when you look at it, and the price is very depressing because the price is enough hope to fill this jar.
Yeah.
Magnifies the puppet as though it's in there.
Yeah. And Ruby backs off. It's like, oh, well,
she doesn't have any left.
Great. Fortunately for her,
I have a question for Jinxie. Enough hope to fill this jar. Can I offer you a copy of Star Wars: A New Hope?
Ha. Anyways, fortunately for Ruby, Little does make way with the statue. I don't really. I mean, I know they wanted to get this thing to Ruby. It clearly meant a lot to her. But I'm just sitting here like, did you really expect to get away with that thing?
Now, to be fair, Jinxie's whole thing is taking what others aren't looking at, and he wasn't looking at the statue when Little took it.
That's true. That's true.
So by
that's
Jinxie's own logic,
that's just fair game.
Little didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. No, that's just fair play.
Boom. You played, Trash Panda.
Ha. But it's like, wait, no, you can't touch it, not until it's sold, and then it turns into a sword.
Oh, right in the feels.
Yeah, but you gotta admit, Little really is a homie.
Yeah. And then the bunny rabbit turns into a rat. Because,
okay, so I wanna just mention, Lissel said that Jinxie just takes stuff we're not looking at.
So we're bored.
This apparently includes.
So we're going on.
Just
So we're going on kidnapping here. That's what we're dealing with. Okay.
This has so many dark implications.
Yeah.
Like, all the more reason. Just like, no, let's not see Jinxie again.
Part of me thinks we probably won't.
Good.
Anyway, so the scepter turns into Yang's arm, and Toy Soldier throws it away. It's like, oh my gosh, it's a severed arm. Anyways, Yang gets it back.
Okay.
Yay!
Sorry, when Yang goes to run for it, I love Weiss's face, with the raised eyebrow, as Blake is just freaking out, no, we weren't supposed to cause a scene.
Yeah.
Weiss is just so done. She's just
Yeah,
like,
she is so done.
I know, it's great.
Anyways, Little's like, hey, I got your thing. But why did I have to see this scene again? Little, you're a real one, but at the same time, oof.
Yeah, and I have a thought that might make this even sadder.
Oh boy,
And
please.
that is...
So, Penny's swords fell and
Yeah,
are still
Yeah.
intact.
I know where you're going with this.
Does that include her body?
Oh yeah, no, I already said on a previous one, like, Penny's body is probably around here somewhere.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Like, for a brief moment when I first saw, like, the doll on, like, the auction, I was like, oh god, that's not Penny's body, is it?
Oh gosh.
I'm so happy that was not the case.
Yeah.
So am I, but, like, for a brief moment when I first saw that, I was like, oh god. Don't
Oh yeah,
tell
we
me...
didn't even talk about it. It just had to be made into a puppet, didn't it?
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, I didn't even think about that. Oh man. Just... Anyway, so Yang's running around with her arm in tow. It's like, I got it back!
I love how excited she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blake's just panicking.
Yeah, meanwhile,
and then
Blake-
Weiss is just...
I love the different...
And then Weiss is just strutting,
Yeah.
like, I'm not associated with these people, I'm just walking away.
Yep. It's like Yang's like, yeah, I got it. Blake's like, run! And Weiss is like, ugh. These people. And then
So,
Ruby's
I
like,
also doesn't really like how the...
I have to
sorry,
ask,
go
are we in agreement that Weiss and Blake are just the best this episode?
Yeah.
yeah, I would
They
say
really
so. Anyways, so they
Also,
run off.
I thought
but-
it's funny how they run off, and then Jinxie's about to give chase, and then the angry customer from before is like,
Refund.
I want my hug back.
Anyways, Yang is very like I know she was like this in like Volume 5 when she was showing everybody like, yeah, I have a prosthetic arm now, isn't it cool? But now she's like, she has it still detached. She's like, hey, high five. It's like, Yang. like, I appreciate you trying to
moves it as well. It's like for Blake, high five, moves it up. For Weiss, who walks to the left of her, it's like moves it down, high five.
It's stuff like this that makes me think back to all those people who were just like, Yang isn't funny anymore. Like, screw you guys.
I mean, she's definitely not her, like, cheerful, bubbly self that she was in volumes 1 through 3.
Yeah, it's called character development and all the
Oh,
stuff that she went through.
I know.
Can't say I blame her.
No, I don't either. I'm just saying, like, yeah, she has changed a lot. But no, she still has time for some jokes.
Yeah.
Anyways, Blake is freaking out. While Ruby doesn't really care about that. She's kind of focused on the sword. I don't blame her, but at the same time, oof.
I'm also wondering why Blake's upset that this is going the same way as the book, when in the book, Alex
Yeah, they got
home.
yeah. The girl got home. She got out. So I don't know. I say we just.
I guess like just wanting things to go a bit smoother. It's just like,
Yeah,
look, I don't want to start a war or anything.
I guess.
So yeah,
I guess
that's
true.
probably why.
Like, look, we just want to get home. We want to get our stuff back. Like, let's not start anything.
Yeah. Okay, so I have the checklist here. So we have Yang's arm, check. Crescent Rose, still working on that. Jean, I know they don't know that he's here, but even still, it's like, okay, so we have 3 things we need to find. We got one of them. So let's continue on, basically.
Also, like, I didn't talk about this like when Ruby got the sword, but a thought I had was just like, do you reckon Little thinks that's just Crescent Rose?
Probably.
Could you imagine next episode Little's like, but you already have Crescent Rose.
I mean, I think, like, as this scene plays out, Little will know, oh, this is something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. But it'd be funny if, like, next episode we find out roses here are green.
I mean, they might be.
They might be. I mean, the leaves here are red, so...
There are red leaves
so
in
like...
Remnant, too.
Yeah, you're right.
It'd just be funny, like, but I thought that green sword was Crescent Rose. Roses are green here.
I'm gonna jump ahead. We'll get to that later.
Roses are green. The Red Queen is mean. Oh, wait, it's the Red King in this, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a Red King, yeah.
Damn it. Oh.
Anyways, it's raining. That's not good.
And Weiss points out it's raining on just them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens when one of you is very sad.
I mean, on the plus side, they have an infinite supply of water.
True.
True.
It's probably not very good water, but it is water.
Yeah.
Anyways, Blake is like, well, in the book. Weiss is like, we're not in a book. And I'm just like, Weiss, come on, girl. Like, at this point, like, I can understand, like, her, like, her being kind of, like, in denial earlier on. But, like, at this point, it's like, okay, so we have the raccoon. We met a talking mouse. We got our stuff back from said raccoon. That's literally named Jinxie. Just like in the book. It's like, at this point, we're basically retelling the whole thing, and you're still in denial?
To be fair, because of said denial, we get a really funny scene, but...
True.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, oh.
I also just love how the Rock also, like, returns to the same spot.
I'm like, Weiss, you ran through a loop. Did you really think that was a good idea? Like, I would have understood it if it was just one loop, but then she goes back again. And she's like, well, dang, I just went in a loop. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pick up a rock and I'm gonna throw it in the direction I ran. That won't have any repercussions in any way.
I wish Crunchyroll had a playback speed so I could play that in slow-mo.
I like how as Weiss is like looping around, Blake and Yang are like she's gonna come back. Is like the second time she's gonna come back, isn't she? And there she was.
Meanwhile, Ruby's just not even.
She does not care.
Yeah.
Anyways, Weiss is Deku mumbling to herself again. It's funny. I'm just looking at Weiss, just constant like jumping to a different animation. It's like it's so goofy. I love it.
I really wasn't expecting Weiss to be the comic relief character.
I know, right?
For this volume.
I know, right?
Well, I'm here for it, though.
No, totally. Anyways, Nervous Nick and his...
I think, if I remember right, there was a thing in one of the manga anthologies where, like, Weiss was, like, trying to read through a book of jokes.
Oh, Lord.
Like,
that can only end so well.
Yeah, and I'm just like, hey, I mean, you're getting laughs, Weiss. You want to make your friends laugh.
It's probably not in the way that you expected or wanted.
Yeah. I'm just saying, she's wanted to be hilarious, and well, she is.
There you go. It just came at her expense, though.
Unfortunately.
Comedy is comedy. Any Hoosers, Nervous Nick and his flunkies are back. It's like, hey, give me back the thing. And they're like, no. It's like, okay, well, but RWBY's like, can you take us to the king, please?
To the birthday party.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
Also, I love how their their like horses on sticks actually make neigh noises.
Yeah. Anyway, so RWBY's like, okay, we'll let you take us there. I'll even give you the sword that meant so much to me.
Oh boy, this moment.
Yeah.
I was watching a discussion, and they said this is also borderline a Penny eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
It might as well
really
be.
Think about it.
It might as well be.
It is kind of RWBY literally giving away the sword.
Yeah.
And remember what RWBY said in the second episode, that weapons are an extension of themselves and a part of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for her, this is like the last piece of Penny.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, she has to give it away in order to get her and her friends back home.
Yeah, and just like some of the stuff that, like, well, actually no, all the stuff that she says about how this belonged to the most powerful warrior who ever lived. She was touched by magic, gave her life to save thousands.
I'll come
brought
back to
a message
that.
of hope to the stars.
Ow, my heart.
No, huge kudos to Lindsay for the
Oh, for
performance
sure.
here, and also Casey and Martin for the music behind the scene.
Yeah, everyone involved in this scene did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Lindsay is probably the voice acting MVP of this episode.
Mm-hmm. They've given such a great performance so far, especially like this version of RWBY. Like, I know it's the same character, but like,
Yeah.
the RWBY that's gone through all this development and dealt with all this like tragic stuff in such a really short amount of time, and is still somehow keeping themselves together.
Yeah.
And it's all gonna build up to a breakdown, and it's gonna require Weiss, Blake, and Yang to bring her back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Anyway, so well, one of the things that RWBY says, like, she gave her life to save the world, and Weiss holds her arm and looks away, and I'm just like,
Oh God.
like, I know why you did it. I really do. I don't blame you, but you just gotta say it. It's like, anyways. So yeah, it's like, deal is, take us to the party and we'll give you this thing.
I do love that not only all the soldiers, but also their horses are even crying.
Yeah, and then one of them's like consoling the horse.
Both touching and hilarious.
Yeah. Anyways, Nervous Nick swipes the sword away. It's like, literally just, like, one frames it out of RWBY's hand. I was like, oh, well, I just gave this really emotional speech, and now I'm surprised. Okay.
Also, if you look at RWBY's face after, I guess Nervous Nick takes the sword, she looks sad.
Yeah. This poor girl.
Yeah.
This.
Also, like, the last thing that she says in this episode about
Yeah,
how
dude.
they should stop pretending they know what they're doing.
I mean, I support RWBY's plan. Like, just go with the flow at this point. But at the same time, oof. And I just want to, as a friendly reminder, this girl is 17. So...
Yeah.
Yikes. That's all I'm gonna say. Just yikes. And then the episode is over. And now I am sad. Is this what you wanted, Kirby? Is this what you were looking for? Because you got it. Now I am the sad.
I'm both happy and heartbroken from this episode.
Yeah.
That, okay, I touched on like shipping stuff before. It's this that really makes me feel for nuts and bolts shippers.
Oh yeah.
Because not only did the OCP like get killed off twice, but now this is going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh man, like. Well, I shipped something else for RWBY, but like Nuts and Bolts was a very close second. I'll say that, and I feel the pain.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like I avoid the shipping community like a 10-foot pole, but at the same time, like I do still feel bad for everybody who was like, yeah, I want this relationship to be a thing, and now they don't get it.
Including Lindsay.
Yeah. And now it's been taken away from them, and they're not getting it back. So,
Yeah, just kind of a very depressing end to that episode.
yeah, seriously. This is the second episode. I want everyone to remember that. And apparently, from what one of the animators has said, it only gets worse. So.
Not in terms of quality, in terms of like, ow, this hurts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the feels.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you think your heart's broken? Bruh, it's gonna go for a paper shredder in a minute.
Yeah, probably.
Just wait, we've got eight episodes left to break your heart.
You know, if it isn't already. You know, the next 8 episodes are gonna take your heart, rip it out, and stomp all over it. You know, just in case they
It will be that scene from JoJo.
Yeah. You know, just in case they didn't rip your heart out enough the last few volumes. Nope, this one's gonna... If those last few volumes didn't do it, this one's probably going to.
Yeah, and I think this might also be why I focus so much on all, like, the cute stuff, especially with Blake and Yang. It's just like, this makes me feel happy, everything else hurts me.
Coping mechanism.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Opium.
Copium, yeah, exactly. Oh, I didn't even realize. I'm looking at the voice acting credits. One of the toy soldiers was Caden. Neat.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Neat. I'll have to look back and try to find them.
I think they're one of the ones who like. I think. Oh no, I think they're the one who screams when the soldier realizes, oh, I'm holding a severed arm.
Oh, okay.
I think I don't really know, but they also would have had to record the up at the end and
Yeah.
crying noises.
Yeah. And Jinxie is voiced by Jello Apocalypse. Neat. So yeah, you know, the last episode was, you know, getting used to this, getting introduced to this new world, and was honestly pretty fascinating. And now here we are with the second episode, and there was some cute stuff, but it was mostly just a depression ride. Yay!
And now we need to see what this birthday party is going to be like next episode.
And beating the king at his own game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you've paid attention to like the trailers and the screenshots the voice actors put out before this volume started, you know what's coming.
Hmm.
And it is gonna be intense.
You guys do know what's coming, right?
Admittedly, it's been a little bit since I've
Vaguely.
seen the trailers.
Should I say it?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Weiss, Blake, and Yang are going to be small.
Oh yeah, that.
They're gonna shrink, and in the game, they're going to be in it
Oh, great.
while RWBY plays it.
Well, hope that works out for you. Chances are it won't, because that's just how things are now.
I mean, we know none of them are gonna die.
Well, yeah, but like, this is just one bad thing after another, and it's just like, I'm tired of it. On one hand, like from a storytelling perspective, I'm all for it. From a getting invested in these characters perspective, I freaking hate it, and I want it to stop.
And of course, like, you know, just empathy.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
As well. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the episode. It's good. It's a good episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say on this.
It's also like kind of weird to think that like that brief skirmish with the toy soldier was technically the first fight of the volume.
I mean, technically there was the
the
skirmish with the
Jabberwocker.
Jabberwocker.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think I remember seeing some people ask, like, do you think RWBY will incorporate this sword into Crescent Rose when she finds it?
Ooh.
I mean, I wouldn't oppose. I guess the trailers does kind of give off like either she finds another sword or she gets this one back.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what, like, maybe it's like a betting game. That's what RWBY is betting. It's like the sword.
Yeah. Or maybe RWBY gives the sword as a gift, and then the king's just a dick, and it's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm taking this back. Mine now.
Also, I spoke about the trailer earlier. There's another scene that's coming with that sword. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. When RWBY was looking into it and saw her reflection.
Yeah, it morphs into Penny. Because, you know,
That's not gonna be fun.
Can you tell that Kirby likes playing with your heart? I don't think you can.
One scene, they're just like, oh, here's Blake and Yang being cute. You want to see these two kiss, right? And then punch in the heart.
Yep. It's like, oh, you know, there's this really cute scene with Blake and Yang. It's like they're actually like laughing and having a good time. RWBY finds her dead friend's weapon. It's like, oh.
Yang got her arm back, and she's like, whoa, I got it. High five, high five. RWBY's looking at Penny's weapon. And talks about her.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there's these toy soldiers. They're very cartoony and bouncy, and they're kind of funny. RWBY gives a heart-wrenching speech about Penny's fate and gives the sword away. Oof. That's all I'm gonna say. Just oof.
Oof.
Yeah.
There are times when I love RWBY, and then there are times when I just freaking hate them, and this is one of them. It's like, why do
No,
you do
like-
why do you do this to us?
No, I've told this story so many times. This was like, I think it was 2014. It was the RTX when they were showing off Volume 2. When Lindsay, Carrot, Aaron, and Barbara were cosplaying their characters.
Oh yeah, those are some cool shots.
Yeah. And Barb does something with the plushies, but I won't go into that. If you know, you know.
Oh yeah.
So, Miles has told this story before, but that RTX in particular, a little girl came up to him.
Oh no.
And she was a big fan of RWBY. She told Miles, "My favorite character is Penny."
Oh no.
Oh no.
He felt so bad. All he could bring himself to say was, "Mine too."
Oh no.
The whole time he was just thinking, "I am such an asshole."
I mean, you would if like this little girl was like, "Oh, my favorite character is Penny," and you just know, oh, Penny's going to die tragically in Volume 3.
And then come back to die again. It's like I'm pretty positive they knew that ahead of time. It's like they wrote Penny's ultimate fate a while back. So yeah. Great. I remember a bit of a side note to just kind of give a little bit more levity. I remember Miles told a similar story, but it was about Red versus Blue. And someone,
I know where this is going.
yeah, someone told him like my favorite character is Felix, and he's such a cool guy. And Miles is like, oh yeah, and inside he's like, it's like, oh boy, just wait till you see what Felix became. Yeah. So that was a thing.
On a more positive note, I got the idea of making a little list about who's made puns throughout RWBY.
But I'm almost
So far,
positive there's. I'm almost
There's
positive
only
there's
3
someone
people.
Okay. Who's the
There's
third?
Weiss with 1,
Oh, Weiss.
Yang with 2, Blake with 4.
Oh, I forgot about the Weiss pun.
I don't think we'll be getting any RWBY puns for a while.
Oh, hell no.
No, probably not. RWBY wasn't really much of a punster even before her downward spiral. So yeah, I don't really have anything more to say. That was chapter 2. It's good, but also screw you, Kirby.
It's good, but we're sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy about all the Blake and Yang stuff that you gave me, but all the RWBY stuff, ow my soul.
Yeah.
I guess I could just plug my fanfic again.
Yeah, there you go.
Just like, hey, if you like the cute stuff and you also like the idea of these characters being happy, like post Salem and everything, I wrote that as a thing on Wattpad.
There you go.
Also, but given what like the focus is, it's like Blake and Yang with a kill in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Given how we know Yang is and what Blake was like in this episode, yeah, how that kid is gonna turn out. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, that's that. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys are looking forward to the next one. And with that, we'll see you then. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.